Everybody online here, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. I'll do microphone check, microphone checker. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get us also on Facebook page as well. Mario St. Francis here, coming to talk to you about men. We need men to level up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm about to get a little interrupted here, and yeah, so we need to have men that level up, and I am waiting for more people to chime in. We got Justin Bucalo, Maria, Dave, thank you for joining me. We have people, Breezy 28. We've got all sorts of people here joining in, and I've got my daughter trying to come in, and she's dancing to my club music. All right, so I want to get more people. We're getting more people online. I'm only going to do this for about 10 minutes. I know that we've done some 2-hour calls. We've had people from all over the world chiming in, checking in, asking questions. Again, I'm Mario St. Francis, model, actor, lay Catholic evangelist, degrees in theology, philosophy, muscular therapy. I'm a fitness, passionate person. Well, I am. That's how I lost 40 pounds. Hit 40 years old and decided I'm not. So many people hit 40 and they are like, I'm fat because I'm 40, or, hey, man, you can't be so passionate. We're 40. I hear these things. Let me talk to my Alexa here. Alexa, stop. All right. And so I was looking at hitting 40. I was 40 pounds overweight. I was thinking I was still a model, but that I wasn't getting booked for anything. My faith was struggling. I was a dad. I had 2 babies, married. I mean, that'll take the faith right out of you as far as religiosity. And being this, I was a hyper spiritual person, hyper religious, still am, still passionate about that. But many of us can ebb and flow. And I joined this intense mastermind group of men. So first off, I did Tony Robbins, I did Jack Canfield, joined Tony Robbins Platinum Partnership, and I was around more and more amazing people. And that's what I've been posting today about. We are our 5. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Nobody ever told me that. Who are you spending time with? Besides your kids and your wife, although you can count your wife in there. What are their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations? Are they challenging you? Are they leveling you up? Are they bringing you down? It's one of the realities that we have that, my dad said it in Spanish, dime con quien andes y te digo quién eres. Tell me who you spend your time with and I'll tell you who you are. In the scriptures, it says iron sharpens iron and men sharpen men. But what if you're around a bunch of girly men? What if you're around a bunch of unsuccessful men? What if you're around a bunch of negative men? Then how are we being sharpened? Sorry, I got people chiming in and checking in and logging in and throwing up quotes. I've got people I'm trying to help throughout the world offering my advice. I've decided to get online and just not have some professional, show going on. I've already got a business coach and a life coach who's doing that, and that webinar is starting in a couple of minutes, actually. I don't even know how to send everybody the link for that. That's just going to be crazy. So if you're on my Facebook, you can get in on that. I threw it up on Instagram. There's a webinar in a few minutes about the group that I've been a part of that's just totally changed my life. And let's see if I can get onto the page here. I'm 40, remember? 40. Am I a promoter? When I hear promoter, I think nightclub promoter. No, I'm not promoting any nightclubs. Thank you on Periscope for saying hi. Chime in, say hi. Let me know where you're from so I can read it off and let other people know where you're from. And Facebookers, we're going to see. I'm going to try to switch to my other network because it keeps saying it's trying to reconnect. I have a poor connection, so let's see. You're from Sweden. Hello. And forgive my cultural references if I offend anybody. But, so, a lot of you don't know me because I'm using different social media platforms. Oh, come on. Where is the page? Come on, Facebook. That is the page. And I can hear that my 3-year-old daughter has now turned on Alexa upstairs. Alexa, play electronic dance music. This is funny. This is live, baby. Okay, my 3-year-old has taken over my Alexa. All right, so we're trying to get on the internet. Play electronic dance music. Oh my gosh, my daughter is taking over. I can hear her upstairs. Okay, we're not getting on the Facebook page. Those people are going to miss out. It's trying to reconnect. Here we go. So, what I want to share is, so I've been part of this men's group, this brotherhood of men that are just holding each other accountable. Every day you have homework, you have to show up. Hold on, done, dude. It's been ended. Wow, I'm sure people are going to be, okay, that's a bummer. All right, so, no, I want to do a live. All right, hold on, guys. I'm trying to get Facebook back up here. All right, hold on. Electronic, no, sorry. Alexa, next song. Okay, I need music sometimes. Alexa, next song. Let's see if my daughter figures out how to. Okay. All right, so just like TV shows, we're going to have a little music here. Apparently, there's no camera going on Facebook. What is happening? Technical difficulties, people. Men, we need to level up. I don't understand. Are you guys on Facebook just listening to me now? Somebody comment. I don't understand why my Facebook. Oh, all right. This is not. Anyhow, so YouTube, what's up? Periscope. I need questions, etc., etc. I'm going to only talk for a few minutes. There's a webinar. I posted it on Facebook, posted it on Instagram. Mario St. Francis. You can find me. Model, actor. Got a degree in theology, philosophy, fitness, Tough Mudder guy, and I'm combining all these things in order to give an experience and to call men to become, and women, to become more kind of holistic, if you will. I call it holiness, but it's whole-e-ness. Wholeness, body and soul, life, living at a higher level, higher caliber body and soul. I'm doing this through group coaching calls, private events. We'll do pilgrimages, travels, like fitness camps. I've got Washington, D.C. getting set up. San Antonio, Texas, and San Diego, California are going to be trips that we're going to be having. But I brought you on here today because my business coach and my life coach and my mentor that I have been engaged with for the last month plus has been a platinum partner of Tony Robbins, which means that you are like in the $1 Million Club. You are spending money on yourself, personal development. Very selfish to look at from a Christian perspective of taking care of myself. It's about me. But when you're not living a life and contributing to others, you do need to self-reflect. We do need to look at ourselves. And personal development is investing in ourselves. In this group of men, there are CEOs. I think it's a requirement you have to be a CEO, and I'm considered a CEO of a leadership movement, body and soul, transforming lives, both body and soul. As a fashion model and an actor, I focus only on the body, and I was basically over-sensualizing the body and promoting a culture of materialism and superficiality. Studying theology and philosophy, I became ultra-religious, so I, like everybody else, you guys were all going to hell because the scriptures say that what's it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul in the process? My brother who just signed on now, Tupac Durenencourt's like freaking, I don't know, 7, 8, 9-figure earner, 10-figure earner. You know, this guy's from here on the East Coast, Washington, D.C., you know, and we got to ask ourselves, do I really go to hell if I'm rich? And the answer is no, you don't. But we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What pages are you liking in on Facebook for? Men, we need men to level up. We need men to be free to be real and raw and authentic. We talk about men crying. I don't know why we always got to talk about men crying. Listen, humans cry. We're emotional creatures, okay? Men, women. Crying is part of the package. But do you avoid it? Do you avoid the rawness? Do you avoid negative, constructive criticism? Heck, I avoided it like the plague. That's why you haven't seen me on Facebook and other places. God forbid I talk about a network marketing company. People would be like, oh my gosh, you're going to hell. That company supports blah, blah, blah. You know, I talk about Tony Robbins. Oh, he's new age. Hey, you talk about anything. And I was so sensitive because nobody was having me level up. Nobody was challenging me. Sure, people would challenge me. And, you know, in the Christian community, Okay, you want me to talk about men cheating? I guess that means cheating in their relationships. Certainly can. Periscope Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. We've had a couple glitches. Hi, everybody who's just chimed in. We've got a webinar going on. It's not my webinar. It's my business coach and life coach. He's not tied into any company. He's not tied into any network marketing. He's not tied into any sort of anything like that. This is simply me saying what has changed my life. Ex-Navy SEALs, CEOs, $1 million earners, $13 million company earners. This is only a group for men. That webinar, I just posted a link on it about an hour or two ago on my Facebook. Check that out. It's called Edge 2.0. It's men only. Watch it. It's just information. The guy's just going to talk. Listen, I watched this video, and I was so absolutely blown away because I've never heard a man calling out other men to live their life. My brother, Robert Lane Frank, just signed on right now. What's up, my brother? New York. Okay, this guy would be shocked to see me the way I am because he saw me crying and he saw me coming from such a hurt place and such a wounded place, and he's like, what is wrong with you? I had another guy that was looking at me, and he's like, dude, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, but you don't understand. I'm trying to figure out the logistics of business. How do you do social media marketing? And I got to get a script, and I got to figure things out, and I got to get things. It's my story, and I'm talking about perfectionism and fear of failure. I don't. Yeah, that's right. My daughter's like, you tell them, Daddy. I got to be a man for my children, and we need men. I do coaching calls, so a life and wellness coach. Yes, model, actor, daddy, husband. Theology, philosophy degrees, and fitness. What do you do with all that? All right, you either stick to modeling and stay superficial, or you stick to theology and become a preacher or a minister. I decided to just confuse the world and... Amen. High five. Boom. All right. And so I was online, and thanks be to social media marketing, somebody posted an ad about men level up. I watched the video, and I said, wow, this dude is leading men, a small group of men, to level up in their businesses, their bonds, their marriages, or their relationships around them, their bodies, and their being. And so I'm at this group, right? I got an ex-Navy SEAL sitting in front of me. I got an ex-Navy SEAL sitting in front of me, and I'm like, oh, the video's all jumbled. Alexa, stop. Thank you. Somebody's talking. Hi, honey, you just logged in. Our daughter is a little superstar in our show here. Robert, thank you for the comments. Hopefully the internet. Oh, you see, this is great. I'm not getting pissed off that the internet's being all jumpy or that my daughter is here. That would drive me nuts because I'd want to be perfect. And because people are doing that, you guys out there, the audience members are going, well, I can't do anything special because I got to be perfect. I mean, look at these guys. Listen, I was doing videos in my laundry room the other day. Ooh, okay. So Robert is seeing just, give it to a Macintosh to be all jumbled up. Dang, you guys are not even seeing me. Maybe that's a good thing. This is great. Thank you for being real. Yes, so Kim, thank you very much. So listen, here's the deal, okay? I've been through so much in the last 40 years, okay? I really only remember the last, 30-something years. And I've been wanting to do something with that. As a model and actor, I was getting popular, and oh, hold on, I think I just cut off Periscope. Where'd you guys go, Periscope? That is so sad. Facebook, you are just saddening me on my MacBook. You see, Annette is my, oh, Periscope ended. Annette is going to be my new producer, my new helper. She watched my first video after my live event, and she's like, I love what you're doing. I want to help you. How can I do it? Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Oh, okay, so you got to be able to be gentle with your kids and then be hardcore with other men. Men, we need to level up. I've been dealing with hearing stories of asking me for prayers and domestic violence. I've been hearing about men who just are not leveling up with women and being there for them. Sorry, let's see. We need men to level up! Exclamation point. You see, I'm using Siri. We got to talk. We got to use social media. We need mental. We need mental men. We have enough mental men. So guys, I know on Facebook you can't see me. Listen, I don't want to disconnect you guys again, so just listen. I know most of you are driving. Most of you don't need to see me. David, be right. God bless you. Thank you for being there. This is a man who has grabbed the bull by the balls and the horns. We need men to level up. And this guy has been there for women and for men who are under dire straits and going into the abortion facilities. And he just simply says, hey, if you're looking for solutions, if you're looking for some help, I will do anything and everything I can to help you. And I think that's respectable. I think that's a man. Okay, listen, you want freedom to do that. You think that that's not a life, that's a philosophy channel you can find on Periscope or somewhere else. But this is a man who's leveled up. And I think that's badass. And I know a lot of my Christian friends would be like, oh my God, you said that bad word. Your daughter's nearby. Listen, watch out. Listen, this is a war that we're dealing with culturally and socially. Men are losing ground. Socially and culturally, we're losing ground. Where are my people at here? What's going on Periscope? You guys on? Am I upside down for you guys? Technology, I tell you. And so anyhow, listen. This is what we see on Facebook. I know, Facebook, what am I going to do? You want me to cut this out? Mark Enlow, holy cow, another big brother from another mother. Mark Enlow, another CEO, badass beast. Life is messy. That's right, Arlene. Life is messy. And you guys are seeing the video all jumbled. You don't need to see me, okay? Go to YouTube. Go to Periscope. You need to see me. I don't want to deal with the technicalities. My producer, Annette, needs to deal with that. This is what one of the men in my men's group told me. Just hit record and start talking. The guy, Mark Enlow, who just signed on, I was in the front row at an event with him at Tony Robbins, and he heard me telling something that so many of us waste our time telling people. Our story. Our story. Our story. And now, as a lay evangelist, I go around and I'm telling my story, but I'm telling my story linked to Jesus Christ, linking to the Eucharist and the sacraments and how that's leveled up my life tremendously. But one of the things I keep noticing amongst Christian circles is that we're losing our bodies. We're not rocking it in our businesses. Raul, this is my mentor and coach right here, is on Facebook. Listen, guys, a webinar is starting in 2 minutes. My brother Raul is watching how Facebook is screwing me over and it's all jumbled. But this is called Life is Messy. So let that be a reflection. Tell me where you're from. Tell me a question. I've got some amazing human beings that are joining me here on Facebook. I don't know. It's hard to see. I'm trying to use all the different social medias. You know what? My coach's son, 11-year-old boy, young man, gave a talk and just blew me away so much that I decided I need to start doing live videos right away because this kid made me cry. This kid just blew me away. Everyone has a story and we need to tell it, and somebody out there in the world could benefit from that. An 11-year-old boy in a group amongst men, he was a special speaker of CEOs, one's an ex-Navy SEAL. Guys are doing massive things in the world. And an 11-year-old inspired me. I'm an inspirational, motivational speaker. And that's because his father is an incredible man and he's leading a movement, a small movement of only men. And that webinar has started now, starts in 60 seconds. Check it out. You can see the link on Facebook. You can see the link on Instagram. I am trying to just dive into the world of social media. I'm diving into the world of just putting my story out there because an 11-year-old boy just grilled me in this conversation to men. So I don't know who's on here still, but I know the video is gone. You're just seeing static. But you know what? Life has static. Men, we need to level up. I have avoided talking, being real, authentic, and raw, being authentic, inspiring. I've been afraid to talk more about being a Catholic Christian because it's popular to be a Christian. That's cool. But to be a Catholic Christian, well, now that we have this Pope, it's kind of like bourgeoisie. But, you know, God forbid that you hold to any traditions because we have an interpretation, which is, hey, you know, we all just need to love. Like suddenly we have a hippie in there. And it's just a stressful time in some people's worlds, in some people's interpretations of the way life is. Periscope, what's up? Talk to me. Facebook, you just got to text me and put things in. Father, Josh, Denise, Chris, Gino, thank you. Raul, Paul, Mark Enlow, thank you guys for tuning in. I know the video is all messy, but life is messy. We need men to start leveling up. And you know what it takes for men to level up? Other men to call them out. I've gotten a call for prayers for about a domestic violence case. That's not a man. That's a male who's got issues. I have anger issues. I need to be around men. We are the average of the 5 men the 5 people we spend the most time with. Who are you spending your time with? And are they holding you accountable? And what are you eating? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And how do you talk? If you want to be part of a group of men, I know women, you have men that need to just get in this, okay? Just tap on the webinar. Look at my past posts. Look at the photo I put on there. There's a link. It's a short link. It's called Edge 2.0. Check it out. It's totally changed my life. I've been running in Christian circles for the last since I was 24, so 16 years. And I've reached a certain threshold, and you kind of get into this spiritual monasticism of like, but what about business? What about having, not social responsibility, that can be taken out of context. We can see you. Hey, Roberto, molte grazie. My brother from New York. My daughter. Hi, sweet pumpkins. Can you take Moana upstairs? Okay. You take Moana upstairs. Thank you. This is live, baby. And this is what I've been challenged to do by these men, these CEOs, these badass mothers, these men. As I'm sitting there, I'm crying, and I'm basically telling my story about, like, you don't understand. I have these feelings of unworthiness. I've been an evangelist. I just don't know how to make a lot of money anymore. I don't even know how to make 100 grand. People come to me about network marketing, and they're like, dude, you're going to be so amazing. You're going to be so amazing. You know what? I was told that it's a blessing and a curse to be told you have a lot of potential. Because what that means is you're not activating that potential now, but you have a lot of potential is like a backhanded comment. A compliment. Guys, I've been part of a mastermind, a business group, a fraternity of badass men. This is for men who need to take and warning, this is not for the lighthearted. Most of my friends on Facebook are of the Christian persuasion, the Catholic persuasion, and ultra strongly faith-filled. So swearing is just shocking. Okay, I went to Tony Robbins' event. He kind of broke me of the paradigm of swearing. I've been around others. It's not something I do around my kids. It's not something that I do on a daily basis. But when we have a crisis, which we have of manhood, of men, okay, and that will spiral to children and women, pregnancies, politicians, we need to have a rise of manhood. And I'm sure there's great apostolates and ministries and works out there, but I've been blessed to come across Edge 2.0. They're doing a webinar right now. I just posted the link about an hour ago. I posted something earlier today as well, because this is something I'm passionate about because it has changed my life. It is changing my life. I've been a platinum partner with Tony Robbins. I've gone to Jack Canfield Breakthrough to Success. I've been doing personal development for the last year and a half. But nothing has affected my life for the positive like this has. And women, I have a lot of women. I'm thankfully cool here on Facebook. Denise, what's up? I got friends from all different backgrounds. And you've heard me gone through my modeling life, or you're coming to me from my Catholic lay evangelization life, or you're coming to me from network marketing, or you're coming to me from my neighborhood. Okay, you all know just a certain facet of mine. And I'm taking that and combining it all to Body and Soul 180, transforming lives, both body and soul. I'm on a mission to inspire, educate, and motivate men and women to live a life of holiness, whole, body and soul. We're not just bodies, models, actors, fitness people. We're not just souls, priests, deacons, lay Catholic ministers, people at Steubenville. We're not just the soul. Okay, how is it possible to get global as an artist? Oh, that's kind of I don't know. That question isn't very sharp. So if you could, thank you for asking that here on Periscope. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. I've got a fraternity, businessmen, only for men, that are online right now on a webinar. Check that out, please. It's totally revamped my life. Now, I've been Tony Robbins' Platinum Partner. I've been to Jack Canfield, his Breakthrough to Success. I'm a model. I'm an actor. Theology degree, philosophy degree, muscular therapist, and recently lost 40 pounds. I've spent over $40,000 in personal development, and instead of using that all for myself, which is all for me, I am now turning that around and just doing live videos to just share different things that I'm seeing. I know that we love to scroll through hundreds and hundreds of things on Instagram and Facebook, and you're getting like so much information that I'm just doing me. This is me. I was challenged. I remember it was a Navy SEAL, ex-Navy SEAL, sitting across from me at this brotherhood, this manhood. Okay, I don't talk about a lot of the things that you do there because you need to prove yourself by coaching through phone calls, by being a part of this brotherhood. There's accountability. We're working our bodies, our bonds, our beings, and our businesses. Our bonds means our marriages, our dating relationships, and our being means our God, our relationship with our God or your higher power. You know, I've been involved in groups from modeling that focuses on the body to your bonds, marriage groups and Christian groups, your being God as a Christian, as a Catholic, evangelist and speaker, theology degree and philosophy degree, and then my body, as the model, and then now getting into fitness. But who has combined all of these? And I love this. My brother, Raul, he is doing a webinar right now, Edge 2.0. Check it out. I put the link on Instagram, Facebook. And for those of you that are still here and want to just hear a guy being real, raw, and authentic, please, if you can give me as many criticisms that you can think of and post them on here, because that is one of the exercises I have to do as part of this brotherhood, is get over my fear, garbled sound and pixels incomprehensible. This internet for Facebook. It seems a term on social media. What is level up? Level up is actually something we use in the brotherhood, if you will, that I'm a part of. It's taking your life to the next level. So if you're walking on stairs and you're trying to go up, Maria Luce, ciao, come stai? Io voglio fare un webinar in italiano, ma la gente d'Italia non me parla molto. Maria Luce, hi, I know you speak English. I'm so glad you're joining, I think, from Italy. She lives in Rome. At least that's where you were the last time I hung out with your dad and your mom. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and let me see. Let me ask Facebook, can you all hear me at least? Unfortunately, we have a bad connection on Facebook. I'm using an old MacBook Pro, but on Periscope, you guys can hear me. So, I am a man, as you can see, and I have gone through the fashion, model, acting world to the Christian world of being a preacher and a speaker, becoming a very sacramental, liturgical, prayerful person, almost monastic, felt the call to become a monk, hence the name Ari St. Francis. At the age of 24, my life changed. I had a conversion or a reversion back to my faith. I left it and become extremely anti-Catholic. I went to a non-denominational evangelical Christian community, and then I had a hardcore, no-nonsense priest shake me out of my anger and everything against the church. His name is Father Larry Richards, and he is warning he's not a soft, gentle, warm and fuzzy guy. My business coach and my life coach also is not.
I want to watch.
Moana?
No.
You want to see the song of Moana?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me take care of my daughter, guys. This also comes in the world of
I watch.
Moo Moo Cow Cow.
No, not Mama Kaka.
Sesame Street.
No.
We have very strict video opportunities here. You can watch
No.
a cartoon of St. Francis. Mickey Mouse.
No.
What? Moana. Golden Bear. Cinco Patitos. Cinco Patitos. Here we go. Let's learn our Spanish and English. Okay. What do you want? Okay, here. What do you want? This is live video, guys. This is what it is to be a... Yes, we hear.
Moana.
Moana?
Yeah.
Okay, take it upstairs. And then... How do I put it on repeat? Keep... I like this. Maui. He's kind of a man's man. Listen, so what I'm asking for our listeners to do is to encourage and to hold men to a higher standard and ask them to, I'm using the word level up because that's what we use in our brotherhood community. Level up. You know, man up isn't really, I don't know, we have bad interpretations of what man up is, but our society needs more men. We need men to be real, raw, authentic. We need more men. Maria, mi hermana, ¿qué tal? Stephenville in the house. We've got a big essential oil user. Wellness Revolution, Maria Spears. Sweetheart. Oh, man, I just did a little video before where Our Lady of Guadalupe was behind me. Not mystically. It was actually on a poster. But hope you can hear me, Maria. Thanks for coming out. What's up, yo? So, Maria, I won't tell them the story of how we met because then you're just going to sound like a crazy Christian, leaving me notes in my locker in college. But anyhow, she has seen me go through a lot, although she represents one essential oil company, I represent another, so we don't seem to talk a whole lot. But I am here getting back to my original mission and my passion, which is me. Not selfishly me, but me as in my story, what I've gone through, what I've been through. I am model and an actor. Got a theology degree, have a philosophy degree, pastoral ministry, and I have a muscular therapy degree. What do you do with all that? Okay, that's been part of my vocational crisis, right? My God intervened in my life at the age of 24 when I was an anti-Catholic, non-denominational Christian, really against my traditions. I had all the reasons why, which are 12 reasons why your average Christian is against Catholics, that we're all going to hell, the rosary beads and Mary and the Pope and priests and confession and all this. And a priest who was a no-nonsense man, a man who was hardcore, Father Larry Richards, just blew me away. Now, I, cried. I saw Jesus. I just felt, I heard God speak to me. I saw my life flash before my eyes. And I just completely gave up everything, took on the name of St. Francis a couple weeks later, and decided to become a monk. So in order to do that, you got to start studying theology and philosophy. Went to the top Catholic university in the world, Franciscan University of Steubenville. Dr. Scott Hahn teaches there. And he's like the #1 anti-Catholic that's out there, and now this guy had a big reversion. Well, then after being in that school, I ended up getting an opportunity to go to Hollywood and to work for Jesus himself, Jim Caviezel, after the movie The Passion. And so I went from model and actor, and Julio he saw me when I was an 18-year-old trying to be a salesman in the credit card processing industry. I had his cousin Aaron, I had his brother Carlos mentoring me in a sense, but they were such on a different level than I was. And actually the guy there, Aaron, their cousin, did something incredible with me, phenomenal with me, unbelievable. And more men haven't done this with me. And more men need to do this with other men. He sat, although I was like a boy, he sat down on a sheet of paper and he goes, who do you want to be? And what does your life look like 10 years, 15 years from now? And he wrote down a list of the things I wanted, and I still have that piece of paper. He wrote down, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be like? And Carlos, Julio, it's your brother, obviously you know that. I want to be like him. He owns a boat, and he's just a badass dude. The guy's money's not a problem. He's got a big company. We're all selling for him. He's got like just a life. He's like, okay, I want to be like this guy. I want to do this. What does that mean to you? And he wrote down a list of all the things that I wanted. Men, we need to sit down with other males, especially younger ones, and ask them, what do you want to do in your life? What does that look like? And how are you going to get there? And how can I help you to get there? You see, we're allowing guys to get away with murder, literally. I got an unfortunate call where somebody asked me for prayers for a domestic violence situation recently. I had a girl call me recently and tell me that a guy, keeps breaking up with her. They're on, they're off, they're on, they're off again. And that she traveled half around the world to go see him and kind of show him that she loves him. And I said, girl, what? The man needs to be doing that. The man needs to go and pursue the woman. What? Our world's gone upside down. We've got women in this liberation movement getting masculinized, which is great when you realize that means you realize your dignity and your ability and your capacity. But when it does is cuts the legs out from men and turns them into feminine, then you're naturally seeing that there's this yin and yang in our society, male energy and female energy. So if women are taking up more male energy, the men naturally the soft men are going to take on that feminine energy, if you will. So we've got our women leading things and men sitting back. Wouldn't it be beautiful if we had a complementarity once again? And we do that by encouraging more men. I'm in a business mastermind, a faith mastermind, a life mastermind that requires work done every day for your body, your being, your bonds, and your business. Your body, eat healthy, exercise. Your being, that's your connection with God. So journal or read, and pray or meditate, whichever persuasion works with you. Your bonds, it's your marriage or dating relationships or connection with your family or significant others. You got to level up. You have to be responsible and do activity every day to make that better. And your body, eat healthy and do some exercise, 15-minute exercise. It's only for men. There's a webinar happening right now. You're already 10 minutes into it. I posted this on a link before, and I'm just sharing this because I want to share the good news. I've been sharing the good news of Jesus Christ for the last 15 years. I want to share some secular good news. Listen, I hit 40 years old, and I decided to hit that at my best. I'm not at my best at 40. I'm getting better. I'm 40 4 months, and I'm better now than I was at 40. But I made a commitment. I wanted to knock my weight down to 190. And with the help of one of my friends, I did that. I made the decision. 40 is not going to own me. I'm going to own 40. Spend $40,000 in personal development and training and education and coaching and help to get myself out of my emotional and mental funk, right? I think a lot of men are operating on a low level, a low standard. We're just working. We're just providing. But we need leadership. We need men to lead. We need men to inspire others. Inspiration seems like a nonprofit business. And so I joined this group of men to find out how to make inspiration a profitable business. You got Robin Sharma, you have Tony Robbins, you've got great people out there. In our Catholic circles, you have you have Scott Hahn, you have Tim Staples, you've got Jesse Romero, you've got Mario St. Francis. No, I don't make a big profit doing this. You've got Terry Barber. You've got people out there doing great things. But we seem to think, well, it's them. That's what they do. They're gifted. They're blessed. Who am I? I just need to work at McDonald's. Hey, that's great. I've been running a landscaping company. That's been my St. Joseph retreat over the last couple of years. Sweating by my own brow. I want men to be encouraged to level up other men. And a lot of women tend to follow me on social media. Jennifer Kipples, hi. My friend, man, she saw me kind of hearing my first TV. It's called GoPro, and we're watching something for network marketing. And Tony Robbins was speaking, and actually she was one of the 10 people I had to hug. We were in, St. Cloud, Minnesota, something like that. And I felt my body just so alive, jumping and being given the permission to just celebrate life, like heaven on earth. Now in church, in the sacramental liturgy of the Mass, we don't jump up and down, and that's appropriate, that's proper. But the problem is that we then leave our lives and we don't jump around unless we play a little basketball. Well, imagine if you gave men the permission and young kids to jump up and down and celebrate for no reason at all. To say the word yes, to be inspired, to be motivated. You know, instead of saying, oh, you can't do that, or you really need to think about that. Is that really prudent? When kids have dreams and we tell them that they need to simmer them down, we become adults who settle. We need men to inspire other men, to say, what is possible? What do you really want to be doing? Could you imagine? We'd worry, hey, what if Mario, listen, not everybody should be inspirational. We need trash men, don't we? Listen, I'm not going to get into that argument, but wouldn't it be amazing if the guys on the back of the truck were inspirational? My trash man is a super cool dude. We should not call him the trash man. He works for the county, and he's picking up my garbage. But this guy is stacked. He's ripped. He's awesome. He's just super cool. So figure out who are your biggest influences in life. Look at who you spend most of your time on your phone with. And I want to ask you this. What does their business and income look like? What does their marriage look like? What does their faith look like? And what does their body look like? Because that's what your life is going to look like. We are the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. Who are we spending our time with? Dime con quien andas y te digo quién eres is what my dad said. You might be shocked to not hear such an extremely deep Christian and Catholic message, but it's just because tonight we've got a webinar going on over on Edge 2.0. I posted that link on a post before, and a lot of guys, if people have seen me lose 40 pounds, guys are seeing me changing my life, changing my business, getting back to my old ministry, finding ways to make that profitable without removing value from people, but adding more and more value to people. And so we're using Periscope, we're using social media with Facebook, we're using YouTube to just be real, raw, and authentic. Tell me where you're from, ask me some questions. But most of all, men, check out that webinar. So hopefully I get less and less viewers here so that you're clicking the link to at least out of curiosity. And if you're women, you can watch it and just listen to what is it that men are talking about? What is it that hardcore businessmen are getting into? Because I've got a buddy of mine who he could be here still. He's making the money. He's just on top of the world in some aspects of his life. But when we ask that question, when the coach that we're working with asks the question of how's your body, how's your marriage, how's your faith with God or a higher power, and how's your business, and we average those numbers out, and you say, well, my life is only at a 6 then, or a 5. You know what's sad is most people are like, dude, you're doing great. There's people at 4. There's people at 3. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. That's true. But why aren't we inspiring men and saying, hey, what would it take to get it to an 11? And those are the type of men that I'm spending my time with. They're calling me out on how I am with my kids and my wife. They're calling me out on how I am with my faith. And one of the homework assignments I've been given is to hit record as many times as I can during the week to just share my insights, my perspective. An 11-year-old at this conference of CEOs, an 11-year-old gave a talk. He's a blogger. He's a YouTuber. And he influenced me. Now, I've given talks. I've spoken around the world. I take 3,000 youth to an event called World Youth Day, which is the largest event in world history. And it involves the Pope called this thing World Youth Day. And I've gone there. And I've inspired people. I speak at conferences. I'm on TV. I'm in English and Spanish and Italian. I've got CDs. I got DVDs. People write me emails and tell me how I'm changing their life or how they're seeing their shows. But I've lost my spark, which is why you haven't seen me for a while. But thanks be to God, a man who was on here earlier, Mark, challenged me while I was sitting in the front row at a Tony Robbins event. Those are like $10,000 seats, by the way. And within 8 minutes, I met an angel, a man who would level me up, a guy who would inspire me, hold my feet to the fire, and challenge me, both in my marriage and both in my business. And he took all of my excuses and he just said, shut it. Shut the excuses off, Mario. Shut off the excuses. You are a man on fire for God. You want to inspire people. Let's just figure out a way to make that a business. So pretty soon you're going to see a Black Friday deal going on for me to share private coaching to really get into the nitty-gritty of your life. Or you can just join my coach and mentor, Edge 2.0, webinar going on right now. He's just talking about it. He's opening the invitation up to people. He does not take inspirational, motivational speakers. He takes business CEOs. But he did a favor for me. He knows that I'm a man of faith and I was losing my fire and his heart went out to me. His background being a Christian background, not of my same faith tradition, but of a different background. He's like, Mario, I know where you're coming from and I hear your pain. However, and he gave me like a 60-second kick me in the middle of my trousers, which what we call leveling up, speaking to me in harsh, strong language that most men would get punched in the face for saying the things that he said. But I'm sure my wife is thankful that I got involved. All right? We need to see men level up. We need to see men. We need to see men being inspired by other men. Iron sharpens iron, and men sharpen men. You are the average of the 5 people, the 5 foods, the 5 audios you listen to every day, every week, every month, every year. The choices you make in life become habits. Your habit molds your character, and your character is who you are and what your life is going to be in the future. And the people you spend your time with dictate, by the law of averages, who you will become, what your inspirations are. I get advice from all different angles and corners of my life, both from, I'm definitely going to consider it. Sounds like a wicked program. I can't understand through speaking in normal levels. Are you saying that it's loud? So if the 5 people are bad, do I need to change my friends? You are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. The 5 people that you spend your time reading on Facebook, the 5 audios you spend the most time listening to, what those lyrics are, the 5 foods you eat, the 5 friends you keep. Yes, that's your life. If you don't want to become who like those people, then you tell me, do you need to change friends? If I try to be around fired up people who want the next level, awesome, that's great. Who's that? Positive Kirby. I mean, your name online is Positive Kirby, so I assume you're looking for positive things in your life. Thank you guys for joining me on social media. I'm kind of new to social media, especially to live videos. I'm normally at conferences, I'm speaking, and people tell me they recorded it as a DVD. We've got audios here of my story. We've got me crying at a conference about letting God make the most of a broken past, or the most of the past, Confessions of a GQ Model. But I want it to be real, raw, and authentic, and I want it to be out there on social media. And I can't tell you how many deep and beautiful responses I've been getting. Now, I'm not racking up massive likes and followers here, but that's what I've given up on, is trying to be big. I just want to be real and connect. And success is coming through that. People want to come and travel with me. People want to go on these adventure weekends that I'm doing. There's 5 days, or 5 nights. You really make me see life in new ways. I hope so. I hope you're not a spam bot, but that's my thing. We need men to accept the idea of I don't even know what that means. We need men who are inspired, who are encouraged, who have hope, who have dreams, and who have the willingness to execute and not give up. To not burn everything down, but to build up. We need men to become proud of life itself, of all of humanity. Human beings have the same dignity no matter what color of their skin is. You could have a sickness or a disease that can change the pigment of your skin and confuse people on what race you are. I think it's beautiful when Facebook wasn't letting you see my face. You wouldn't know who I was. You just hear my voice. I think it's a beautiful thing when we can look at people with an equal dignity and respect. But beyond that, we need men to level up. We need men to look at their lives, their body, their being, their bonds, their businesses, to look at being virtuous, to being valuable, and how to serve the community better. And there's no better way than looking at who are the 5 people you spend most of your time with. We are the sum. I've got people from all different stripes. I've got people from all different backgrounds here. I've got a guy who I call my cousin, my brother, is my neighbor as well. Coming from my background, I've got a mother of 11 children, hardcore Catholic. I've got business people. I've got evangelists. I've got theologians, because I'm a crazy mix of a lot of things. Please give me a shout out also on Facebook. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. But man, you're human like me. Absolutely. We're human. Absolutely. So thank you so much. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Periscope. I am getting back to my roots and my passion, and building a business out of that passion, right? We've got Robin Sharma. We got Tim Ferriss. We have Tony Robbins. We have all these people that are doing inspirational, motivational teaching and coaching, and I've paid them. I hit 40, lost 40 pounds, spent $40,000 in personal development, and I'm taking that back to the streets and sharing that with you. My faith has been reinvigorated. My marriage that was suffering has been reinvigorated. My body that was suffering has been reinvigorated. And my connection with God, and now creating a business out of that. People have been listening to these live webinars and asking for individual private coaching. People want to go on these adventure trips with me where we're going to do both vacation, we're going to talk fitness, we're going to talk health, we're going to talk about what are your 5 goals, we're going to talk about your 5 obstacles, and I'm going to help you walk through those so that you leave that event with concrete plans and certainty of what it is you want, and envisioning that and executing. And I will follow up with you both privately and or in group coaching. Right? That's my passion. That's my thing. I've been around the world speaking, but I'm the one always speaking, just like here. Thank you guys for chiming in. Thank you for chiming in on Periscope. Thank you for chiming in here on Facebook. Thank you on YouTube for chiming in. It's great to see so many people. I've got one of my brothers from military school. I am talking about men leveling up. Thank God I went to military school. Thank God I broke the law and stole my neighbor's stereo, or conned him out of having 2 other guys steal his thing from his stereo from his car. I got busted by the cops, and my parents gave me a dilemma. What do you want to do? You want to go to a reformatory? You want to go where? I wanted to get away from school. I was heartbroken about, my first serious girlfriend that we had broken up with. I didn't want to be around anymore. I was falling apart at the seams, and thank God pain was in my life, because that can lead to, and often does lead to, a critical choice. Some people choose to go down the bad road. Some people choose a different road. Thank God my parents shipped me off. Fishburne Military School. AJX Guzman. I think you're one of my brothers from military school. Chime in there on Facebook. We are the average of the 5 people we spend our life and our time with. And the 5 activities we do, the 5 shows we watch, the 5 foods we eat. My question is, do you need to level up? Do you need to change? Do you need to spend more time with new people? I needed to, for certain. I certainly did. I spent years speaking and preaching and being a one-man show out to everybody else, and they're being inspired by my life from a fashion model to a motivational speaker. Take it to the next level. Absolutely. Thank you, Periscope. So taking our lives to the next level, and what does that look like, is different for each person, but we are the average of the 5 people we spend our time with, the 5 foods that we eat, the 5 songs and musicians we're listening to. What is it that is in our lives is who you are going to become. So if your life needs to go here, you need to hang out with people that are up here, because we're going to fail a lot. You know, they say we got to fail our way to success. I need to be around people that are going to challenge me towards failure. Gary, one of my brothers, my gosh, I've been jumping up and down with them. Some of you have seen my videos at Tony Robbins. I've become a platinum partner. This Australian dude and I met in LA or New Jersey, and freaking fell in love. You know how cool it is that you can meet a guy and fall in love? But we both have issues, but we're seeking to go higher. Bro drives around in a Tesla around Australia. He's a badass mofo. But we've both cried together. But if that's all we do, we're just going to feel our pain. But then to call each other out, to say, brother, we need to talk. And we've learned strategies and methodologies of changing people's lives quickly. Tony Robbins, NLP, Intervention, Leadership Academy. So many things are out there, and I've learned a lot of these. I hope you can at least hear me. Ryan, I know you're saying that you can't see me, but hopefully you can hear me. Life is messy, just like my Facebook feed right now. I am sorry. Can you hear me? Victor Gabriel Baton, guys, a martial art master here in the DC, Maryland area. Thank you for showing up. Men, we need to level up. And right now, you might have missed it. There was a webinar that was online, Edge 2.0. Guys, a platinum partner with Tony Robbins. I would call him a master in business, a master in personal development, a master in life coaching. And I decided to double down, triple down, and join this guy's group. And this guy now has a group for people who don't want to go all in 100%, but want to test the waters, Edge 2.0. And I just wanted to point people in the direction of checking out that webinar. I get confused. Is it better to competing or what? What better than competing? Ryan, you came to my elementary school for a speech 10 years ago. Ryan, is that Canada? Were you up in the Combermere area? Names sound familiar. I came to your school 10 years ago. Ryan, talk to me. Type in right now. You see, now, as a model and an actor, life was superficial, and I thought all things were good. I was told I need to sleep my way to the top, and the actor, Edward James Olmos, challenged me as a man. I was a 19-year-old prima donna, superficial model who looked at himself and was ripped. And he told me, dude, you need to be able to contribute to this world. You need to get out and away from people tell you need to sleep to the top. Ryan, yes, I was in Ontario speaking at your school. All right, Ryan, you heard my Bishop Smith, of course. Of course, I remember Bishop Smith. All right, so let's talk here, Ryan. I got a kid here who's not a kid anymore, right? You're probably, what, 25, 10 years? You were in high school. You're 26, Ryan? I came to your school and talked because I was a model and actor who had a big conversion and reversion in my life and ended up saying yes to God and feeling God just go, stop messing around. I've saved you from 12 accidents. When are you going to wake up and come back to me? I was an anti-Catholic Christian at the time, thinking that life is all about modeling and acting and being famous. I was in Cosmo, etc. You're 25, Ryan. Okay, so I spent my next year traveling around the world and speaking, mostly for donations. Committed to just contributing from heart to heart. So Ryan just chimed in here on Facebook. Thank you, Ryan. I spoke at his high school 10 years ago. Ryan, do you remember anything I said? Ryan, when I spoke, was it at all positive? Did it help? Was it inspirational? 10 years ago, this young man, a high schooler, heard me speak in Canada, which is becoming more and more defensive against people like me preaching and speaking. When we talk about virtues and values and traditions, and not every human being in a society believes that, it's unfortunately becoming hate speech. So I am not terribly invited to come back to Canada. But Ryan, you heard me as a high schooler come to your school and talk about my conversion story, my reversion story, being a model and an actor, and how life isn't all about superficial life and living in the fast lane, and that if you live your life looking for friends and looking for likes, you're going to be unhappy. You got to find God. God is the fulfillment. It's the fulfillment. The fulfillment. Is it good to be Christian? It's a phenomenal to be Christian. You can be a bad anything, though. You can be a bad Christian, a bad Catholic, and I was a bad one. And I haven't been a great one over the last couple of years. I've gotten so fed up and frustrated with social media, analytics. I'm connected to 1,000 people from Canada and all around the world of high school students, but because I didn't post for a month or two, when I post things, they don't see it. So that's frustrating. I just kind of gave up the whole social media game. It's so superficial, isn't it? But it doesn't have to be. We can say positive things on there, like right now. I have done webinars at 4 in the morning and at 6 in the morning. There are always human beings out there that are hurting and suffering and need a little bit of inspiration. I wouldn't consider myself with religion. So what is a good Christian? I'm going to get off topic on that. Come back to me. What is a good Christian? A good Christian is a person who follows Christ and the words that he said in the scriptures. Old Testament, he has leveled up the Old Testament with the New Testament. He is the new covenant that God established with Abraham. So living and following him, being a Christian, following Jesus Christ, who is Lord and Savior, the Son of God, not a prophet only, but a prophet who is God incarnate. And he offers himself in the Eucharist and the Mass every day, as he said in John 6:60, constantly saying, eat my body and drink my blood. That is the life of a Christian. So, love, mercy, justice, forgiveness, union and communion with God and intimacy with God, knowing the lives of those who came before, saints, they will inspire you. They are the MTV stars that we should be following, are the saints. You've been following me since high school, Ryan. You got to get back to work, Canadian Armed Forces. Your speech was great, and I'm still a follower, and I watch your stuff. Praise God. Ryan, thank you for tuning in. I am talking about leveling the playing, not leveling the playing field for men. We need to just knock the playing field off its kibbutz, the schmutz. We need to put the line like this and say, men need to be men. That means they're loving, they're caring, they're honest, they're authentic, but they're strong and they have a passion and a purpose. They're virtuous, they treat their women well. And should there be any fault or failure, they have the ability to recognize it, ask for forgiveness from God and from that woman or whoever they're hurting. Too many women come to me telling me that they are in defunct relationships with men. But you know what? It stinks to be alone. It stinks to be lonely. It's lonely to be single and alone sometimes. I tell you what, I'm preaching to you and speaking to you and sharing to you right now. It's easy to be alone. I'm married, though. I need to be with my kids and with my wife, so I take time off. What, baby cakes? Okay, go get me the iPad. I'm raising my kids on TV. This is exactly what I didn't want to do. Want to work with me to develop a mastermind accountability group. I have one. You want to work with me, brother? Chime in with me. I'm working and stretching out too much. An accountability group? Yeah, we can talk about that. Somebody just asked me if I can help them start an accountability group. Absolutely. So I'm doing a life and wellness coaching myself. We're going to have events where we travel. You have to be committed to losing those pounds. You need to be committed to improving your relationship. You need to be committed to change. You need to be committed to not repeating your story over and over again when we ask, why aren't you where you want to be? Your story can serve you and launch you forward, but you can't live in the past. We can't live in the wreckage of our future, and we can't go forward by constantly looking in the rear view mirror. And it improves our finances too. That's what the business mastermind and accountability group is that I'm a part of. Your body, your being, connection with God, your bonds, your marriage, your dating relationships, and your business. Men who are committed to taking that to the next level. It's called the Next Level Experience. So thankful for those of you that have tuned in. It looks like I've lost everybody on Facebook, YouTube. God bless you. Thank you for being there. It's hard to see all the comments coming across all the different screens that I have here. If all do that, no one would be depressed. Because we're being raised by social media, television that is scripted and pre-planned, or social media is able to be liberating like I am offering. I'm just committed to being real, raw, and authentic. I'm just living what God has placed in my heart, being passionate, being honest, being here. My daughter's coming with her beautiful Moana song. Yeah, that song Moana sings was really powerful. Take It to the Max Radio would love to have you. Pray about it. Would love to have me what? Would love to have me be interviewed. Would love to have me as your janitor. What's up, baby girl? Let's set up an interview, people. Find me on social media, Mario St. Francis. You can go to my website, Mario St. Francis. You can email me. You can find me here. Okay, here's Moana. Go take it to mommy because daddy's trying to talk to just a few people out there on the internet. Okay? Can you give me a kiss, though? Oh, I love you. Hey, baby, can you close the door when you leave? Good question. Okay, LOL. I'm not sure who that was. It's hard to see the comments. But anyhow, we've got people here on Facebook. We have people on YouTube, Periscope. You want to do an interview with me in 2018? Let's do it, girl. Let's get this out there. We need to level up, inspire men and women. Listen, I'm an equal opportunity evangelist, speaker, and life and wellness coach. Body and Soul 180. The talks makes me want to get Christian, get a Ferrari, and training. That's awesome. Let's do it. Contact me. Yes, absolutely. So, leveling up, we are the average of the 5 people we spend our time with, the 5 foods that we're eating, the 5 songs that we're listening to. Hey guys, where is Mama? Could you go upstairs? I'm on the phone. And could you close the door? And then we'll hang out. We'll hang out and watch Moana. Okay, she went upstairs. Maybe look for her in the bathroom. Look for her in the bathroom. Go find Mommy. She's probably hiding in the shower. Go find Mommy and be nice to each other. Love one another as I have loved you, as Jesus said. So listen. I've gone from being a model and an actor to a lay Catholic evangelist, a muscular therapist, got my degree in theology and philosophy. I gained 40 pounds when I got married and became a dad. My faith became a struggle because it's a sacramental faith that we live. And it's a devotional faith, and it takes time. And my kids are my passion. I want to just love them and hug them and be with them all the time. But you've got to work in something. Now the question is, do you just work in a business to make money and be just chill, or do you work in your passion and make that into a business? I say that if it's possible to turn your passion into a business, to earn money doing that, then you should do that. If God has called you, if you feel a calling from God and you inspire individuals and you get incredible feedback and people cry when you speak, people say that you've got a gift and you notice and you feel a calling to share that gift, then it's a calling to be one of those few people in the world that are out there making the world a better place, as Michael Jackson says. If you want to make the world a better place, you got to look in the mirror and make a change. Yes. So you've probably missed the webinar. I completely missed the webinar. I had a lot of followers here watching me on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, and felt compelled to just share the message. Hopefully some of you got over to the webinar to hear about the coach that I follow lately, that is a mastermind group that does not follow a coach per se, but it's a whole group of men that are following a system of accountability, of changing and inspiring and taking to the max our business, our body, our marriages, and our bonds, our relationship with God, our being, our bonds. We are the average of the 5 people we spend time with. We are the average of 5 people we spend our time with. We are the average of the 5 people. Take the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with, the music you listen to, and the food you eat. What do you drink? What do you eat? Take the average throughout the day, throughout the week, and that's why your body looks the way it does. Take your exercises, divide them by the amount of days in the week. How hard are you pushing yourself? How much are you panting? You don't have to go hardcore to have great results. Walking is one of the best cardiovascular exercises. How often are you doing it, and how long are you doing it? 15 minutes minimum a day is what we are accountable for in our group. 15 minutes a day. We need to connect with our wives every day. We need to connect with our children, connect with our God, connect with our business. And we need to be learning and executing, and that's what Edge 2.0 is all about. And I love it. Thanksgiving is going to make I got to go deep fry a turkey, or I'm going to deep fry an oilless turkey. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much. I know we still have people watching. Keep tuning in. Follow me, comment, like me. I don't know how social media works entirely. I'm just putting a couple cameras up and hitting record and sharing my life, sharing my experience. So ask me questions. We're going to watch these again, and we're going to take questions that people have asked and that I haven't been able to respond to, and I'll get back to you guys, or we'll make other shows about it. So God bless you. I'm Mario St. Francis, model actor, muscular therapist, theology. Got my theology degree and philosophy degree, and I'm melding it all together with my life and wellness coaching background to help people to be whole. To body and soul. Transforming lives, both body and soul. So share, like, comment, keep following me, send encouragement, send criticisms my way. I used to fear criticism, bad words, and being all called all these things, so I invite it now. So check out past shows, check out future shows on Mario St. Francis, on a mission around the world to inspire, educate, and motivate. We've got people here on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. And today I am talking about how we are the average of the 5 things we do every week in our bodies, in our connection with God, in our marriages, and in our businesses. So what do you eat and drink every week? Take the average, and that's why your body looks the way it does. How is your relationship with your wife? Look at the activities you spend doing with them every week, divide that, and say, what's the average? And that's why your marriage is the way it is. Look at how you execute in your business, how much you're learning, and how much you're growing and connecting with God. Dime con quien andas y te digo quién eres. Tell me who you spend your time with, and I'll tell you who you are. Yes, somebody asked, do I need to change my friends if they're bad influences? Absolutely. Unless you think yourself as Superman or Jesus Christ and you can save people, but they were extraordinary. They had strength from on high. They had inner strength. They had power that could go beyond. And Jesus still went in prayer by himself. Superman still, had his weaknesses. Men need men to hold them accountable and to a higher level. If in life you're here and you want to get here, you need to spend time with people that are here. Let me show you that again. If your life is here and you want to get here, you need to spend time with men and women that are up here, because you're probably going to fail. Failure is guaranteed. But isn't it better to fail 2 degrees and have gotten this much further in your life? I've always been afraid of failure. I've been afraid of criticism and negative comments. What better way to embrace negative comments than by getting on social media live, having your kids interrupt you, having technical difficulties? My passion is to have, professional equipment, a producer, to have investors helping, to have people hook me up with frequent flyer miles so I can travel not worrying about pricing and fees, because I want to be able to share this message with the poor and the rich all around the world. I've been on every continent, aside Antarctica, and you just said it's all about winning. I want to say it's all about drawing up more people to win. It's all about leading people towards greatness. It's not just about winning ourselves. For what is it to gain the whole world if we lose our souls in the process, is what Paul said to the Corinthians, I think. Who knows? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world if he loses his soul in the process? Could be Colossians, could be Corinthians. I can't remember. When you're talking this passionate live for over an hour, it's exhausting. So, I mean about other people too. Good. I wasn't giving a negative twist to that, but it's all about winning and bringing as many people with you. I'm not called to get to heaven myself. I'm called to bring as many people as I can with me. That is why I am radically shifting my businesses, my focus, and looking at how to inspire and touch the lives of others so that more and more people can win at life in the 4 areas of life. We are both body and soul. So as a model, I was focusing only on the body. As Facebookers, we're focusing on the superficial a lot. As a lay Catholic evangelist, I had a massive change in my God experience, and that changed me to be I was pursuing becoming a monk, and I focuses on the soul only. We are body and soul, and we split that into halves and say winning is about executing in our lives in our body and in our business, in our marriage, which we call our being, and our bond. Our bonds is our marriage, and being is our connection with God. So we need to win every week, every day. And if we're not being held to a standard, if we don't have a coach or we don't have a team that we're a part of, we're just a solo ranger out there, I am willing to help people get to the next level. I am out there giving free advice, free coaching, paid advice, and paid events where people will come to train with me and work with me over a 4-day, 5-night process in Washington, D.C., or in San Antonio, Texas, or in San Diego, California, or going to Europe with me if that's how you want to roll. So these are the things that I am able to offer. You're right, absolutely, on Periscope. It's about winning. But it's not just about me winning in life. It's about me bringing as many people to the podium of winning. Training the mind is absolutely true. But in philosophy, we don't, well, I'm sure some people would disagree because philosophers, we all disagree. My degree is in theology, philosophy, and muscular therapy. The mind is part of the soul. The mind, we say, is the spiritual element of who we are. It's the rational, making sense part of the soul. So I know most people like to say body, mind, and soul, but I want it to be different and keep it shorter for URL purposes and for branding, and just say body and soul 180, transforming lives, both body and soul. That's what I do. Training the mind is key, for sure. What you think about, what your average thoughts are, is your average future. It's what you're going to be. The 5 people you're spending time with, the most time with, is going to be the average of them, is who you're becoming. The average of what you're eating every week is who you're becoming, or your body. That's why your body looks the way it does. How often you exercise, average that. Now, I go hardcore a couple days, but then I don't do a lot the other days. So now I'm part of a hardcore group of men, CEOs, that are looking to live their lives on the next level. It's called the Next Level Experience. They were just having a webinar this evening. I wanted to share with men or women who want to encourage their men to just be part of a fight club, a business club, a God club, a marriage club. And my coach and mentor who I have is all about bringing together men. We don't follow the coach. We are there to be kind of equals amongst each other. Excuse me. I don't have much water here. The Edge. I forgot I had this. It's my water bottle. Just got back from my hardcore weekend. We were with 9 men. The group is about 80 men. This is growing up. 2018 is going to be phenomenal. I don't lead the group. I'm a member of the group. And so it's all about taking men to the next level in their body, their fitness and their diet, their beings, their connection with God, how they pray and meditate, and what they read and write, and their bonds, their marriage or their friendships, and their businesses. You got to execute in your business, and you have to learn something about your business. So I'm around guys. I've got an ex-Navy SEAL that I was with in this group. I've got people whose businesses go anywhere from 13 million to 1 million, and they allowed me to be part of this group because they considered me to be a CEO of inspiration and motivation. And they made an exception because I really touched the heart of the guy who runs this group called Edge 2.0, which is the webinar link or the group link I put online earlier. He's a platinum partner of Tony Robbins, which means nothing to 99.9% of you. But it just means he's somebody who's been very committed to personal development and executing in his life. So many of us focus so much on our faith that we don't have strong businesses, we don't have strong bodies, but we do have great connections with God, and we oftentimes have great marriages. But marriage is under attack because society is throwing out on social media posts of, this is what, the perfect woman looks like, and so wives feel like crap. And, this is what guys with six-pack abs look like. Well, husbands are eating food all the time or, sitting on the couch watching the football game, so we're all getting beer bellies. And suddenly we have unhappy marriages, and we have a society that's promoting, hey, if you're not happy, you need to go because we all deserve to be happy. Now, they're not promoting commitment, perseverance, endurance, mercy, and forgiveness. Communication, being real, being raw, being authentic. And this has really resonated for me in my life. And so I'm just using my platform of having been a model, an actor, becoming a muscular therapist, which was a level up from being superficial about the body, but then helping people align the body, range of motion, became one of like 100 and something people in the world trained in the body. And then I had an amazing change in my life that led me even higher away from the body towards God. And I had a massive connection with God at 24 years old, hence the name Mario St. Francis. And I was asked to give talks, and I was like, no, I'm becoming a monk. I'm preparing for the priesthood. Like, no. And I got an opportunity to go to Hollywood, California, of all places, to work behind the scenes instead of being in front of the scenes with Jim Caviezel, Jesus from The Passion. I accepted that. I was led to an opportunity to be a producer on 2 movies. It happened to be faith-based movies. And people started to ask me to tell my story. So I've been around the world, been on every continent, telling my story as an evangelist. You can check out my website or YouTube channels, mariostfrancis.com. And over the last couple of years, I've been very silent because I've been going through a big transition in my life, and it's been very challenging. And social media, as a majority, is all about pretty content. Showing off your sexy legs, showing off your best moment of the day, not showing your crappy moments. And I was really feeling and going through a lot of the highs and lows. And I had our firstborn son, who was just the greatest thing to me on planet Earth besides the Eucharist. And I just was like in love with him. And I thought, man, I'd rather live my life face to face than being on Facebook. But there's been something on my mind more and more as people have been reaching out to me saying, Mario, could you please share more of your life story with us? We want to hear more from you. Could you connect with us? Courtney, what's up? Embarrassed. My neighbor is listening to me. So again, what does a guy have to say who's gone from a model and actor who became a muscular therapist and then had his big God experience and was starting to train to become a priest, but ended up becoming a faith-based producer, and then being asked to tell my story at churches around the world, and now is a dad and a husband? That was a radical change. So you haven't seen me online for a couple years because I wanted to live life face-to-face with my children and not be on Facebook saying, competing to kind of show how cool I am. I didn't care how anybody thought about me. But my heart has been pounding more and more, especially with politics and things happening, to get back on my knees and to get my connection reconnected with God. I got involved with Tony Robbins. I got involved with Jack Canfield first, then Tony Robbins, personal development. And I found my body and soul being inspired because we are the average of the 5 people we spend our time with. Courtney, I'm sorry. I know your employees and bosses are not that awesome sometimes. But we're the average of the 5 people. The good thing is you get off at 4 or 5 and you get to spend time with neighbors like us. Yay! And your other neighbors that are so great. But we truly are the average of the 5 things we do the most. 5 people we spend our time with, the 5 foods we eat, what we drink, and what we're thinking about, as well as what we're listening to and following. You are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So if they're not inspiring you, if they're not living a strong marriage, if they're not connected with God, if they don't believe that all things are possible, if you don't believe that somebody can start the internet out of their garage, or iPhones and iPads and all this great technology has been done by people who didn't believe that they were going to make it. They just knew they had to try. So despite finances, despite success and happiness, if we commit ourselves and we're led by men, families are led, we need men to start leading families. We need men to start leading their school teaching if they're teachers. We need men to lead their wives and girlfriends. We need men to man up and level up. And, yeah, it's cool to have some cool friends. It's good to come to parties. I go hang out with my friend Alicia up here in Maryland. She's got an awesome husband and great kids, 6 wonderful kids. They're amazing musicians and martial artists. But frankly, what would motivate them to really spend time asking me, how am I doing? And say, what can we do for you? And then, hey, didn't you say you wanted to do this in your business or in your life? How can we challenge you and get you to do better? You got to basically find coaches to do that, because friends are friends and we just kind of there to party and hang out with each other. But I found a coach. I got myself a mentor. I've gone to personal development events. You know how many people are like, oh, you went to one of those things, those Tony Robbins things? Oh, yeah, I know all about that. Yet their finances and their marriage and their contribution to society isn't on top level playing. They're not top-level athletes. You know why top-level athletes are top-level athletes? Because they've been trained. You know why my friend Alicia's got a kick-ass martial arts school? Because they're kick-ass instructors. But every instructor needs an instructor, which is why I, as an inspirational, faith-based, motivational speaker, have been looking for coaches in my life. Because Jesus Christ is a great coach. But guess what? He doesn't call me out as much and as easily and in my face as businessmen do or other people do. And so I say we need men to level up here on earth for the sake of the kingdom of God. But if you're not cool and hip with the kingdom of God, Jesus Christ, and the sacraments, then let me talk to you in energy and in light, in kudos and good feelings. If you're out of alignment with that, with the what you think and what you believe reverberates and vibrates, and that goes out into the earth, into the world. And so you will ping back, like a dolphin pings back its signal that it's putting out there, and it knows where things are. Instead of praying to God, listen, you're vibing out certain things. You're praying to the world, and the world's going to give you what you're asking for. So if you want to be wealthy, but you think you're not capable, you're going to get what you're believing. You can say all you want in your prayers and in your churches, but what you believe in your heart and soul, when push comes to shove, is what you're going to get. So it's like, oh my gosh, I better start talking differently and thinking differently. And I got to change my belief. And so I've been blessed to be part of a brotherhood of men. Most people, 90% of the people that I have known in my life, like 100% of the people that I've known in my life would never spend over a 6-month period of time or a year, almost $40,000 in coaching. Why? Let's feed the homeless. Let's do all that. Great. But what if you end up losing your passion and your edge? Yeah, you can go back to church and you can get on your knees more and more, but you know, God can work through and does work through, and I would even say he forces us to work with other human beings. It is so easy for us to go into church, especially adoration, and go to Mass because Jesus isn't talking to us physically. It's great to go in there and hide and feel loved, but when we don't learn how to love human beings who have opinions and who have faces, and when you're saying, I had a really bad day, and I'm like, huh? And that hurts your feelings, people are like, oh my God, you just don't understand me. I'm going to go back to Jesus in the Eucharist. And it's like, well, yeah, marriages can get messed up because we get ultra focused on that. If we focus too much on our body and we're always at the gym, we're going to be upset when we see a little wrinkle or a little pound. We are the average of the 5 things we do every week. The 5 people you spend your time with. How inspiring are they? How encouraging are they? How successful are they in their business, in their connection with God, in their marriages, and in their bodies? Look at the bodies of the people around you, and that's the body you're going to have. Now, if you're saying, well, all my friends are skinny and I'm extremely overweight, you'd have to say, well, what are they like emotionally? Because some people are fat emotionally, or, you know, excessive weight emotionally. And so it will show up for one person in their life physically and in another person's life emotionally. I love the movie. Kevin Leahy, what's up, my brother from Madrid? I love the movie from Jack Black did, and he actually had featured Tony Robbins in it, or, you know, Tony Robbins was kind of subliminally or, you know, in there. And I thought it was a phenomenal movie, and I talk about it when I give conferences around the world. Jack Black basically was complaining about being in this bad habit of basically judging, if you will, women based on their physical attributes. And he asked this guy in an elevator who's a kind of a guru, you know, he's one of the most successful men in the world, he's a coach, but he says, hey man, you help people change their focus, change their minds. Could you help me? He's in an elevator and he says, could you help me? Father James Wilcox. What's up? San Antonio, Texas connection. We are the average of the 5 people we spend our time with. The 5 foods you eat, the 5 people you spend your time with, the music you listen to. So being ultra-religious is great, but what about the other areas of your life? Our body, our bonds, our being, and our business is what this fraternity, this coaching, this life that I've been living lately has been, and it's completely revolutionized my life. It's helped me to become whole. Not holy, just spirit, but whole. Because we can access our brain and God's will for our lives when we work in our body, which is why I love taking people on pilgrimages, because you get to live through the body certain things about life. And so the average is of 5. 5 things you drink, 5 foods you eat, 5 ways you exercise a week, 5 things you say to your lover. So, as a priest, to God, when you're on private prayer, not just preaching, but then also in your bonds. Who are the men you're around? I was talking to a priest yesterday, and it completely feels alone because he speaks the truth. He speaks up. He's strong. He is a leader, and he feels alone because he doesn't have the bonds that agree with him. And the averages of 5 that are around him, of his own type of people, are weak, are scared, are afraid, and have not been challenged to be open, honest, because we fear criticism. We fear being unpopular. So I'm challenging myself by being online. Success is often a lonely road. Absolutely, Periscope. Thank you for chiming in. Your name is Positive Kirby. That's true. We have to fail our way to the top, and failure is something I'm doing here. My video hasn't been working on Facebook. My daughter walked in. Microphones. I missed a webinar that I was promoting of my new brotherhood that I'm a part of. And it's not for everybody. It's not for 90% of men out there, but it's exclusively for men. You have to be a CEO or a leader. And they've opened it up now to say, look, you don't have to be a CEO or a leader. If you're a man and you want to just be inspired, there's a web version that you can connect to, and that's what the webinar was about tonight. But my life has changed radically. I hit 40. I lost 40 pounds before hitting 40. I dropped $40,000 in personal development. And all of this training and education, I now could call it that I'm a life coach. But I'm about wellness of body and soul, holiness, what I call whole. Father James, please use that in one of your homilies. Holiness is whole, and E, 2 E's, whole-e-ness. I got to put acronyms to the 2 E's in there. Holy, maybe whole, entire, everything. Holiness. We need to be holy in our entire being, body and soul. Or as somebody here on Periscope was saying, is what about the mind? The mind, theologically, philosophically, we say is the soul as well. But okay, you want me to just do what the world says and say body, mind, and spirit? Father James could text in, and if he's not driving or on his phone, and say, do we consider the mind the soul? Can I just say body and soul? I am transforming lives, both body and soul, and I include, the mind is included for free, okay? So travel the world. I'm on a mission around the world to inspire, to educate, and to motivate, to transform lives, both body and soul. And in order for me to do that even better and harder and longer and bigger and better, I need to be around bigger and better people, and I've chosen to do that. Edge 2.0 is a brotherhood of men led by a successful businessman, husband, a Christian, and it is not for everybody. It is not for the weak of heart. It is not for people who are scandalized by somebody swearing. Rupali, I missed your birthday. My phone kept dinging. Rupali from India, I was in your wedding. I was the best man or groom's brother, friend in India. My gosh, thank you for tuning in, Rupali. Rupali, what I am telling everybody is that in my life, I've been quiet from online for the last 3.5 years because we had a baby and then a second baby. Well, and I got married. And I wanted to be face-to-face with my wife and children, not face-to-face with people's posts of drinking beers and Ferraris and their abs and women doing selfies with massive cleavage. And I just got kind of sick of Facebook. Yes, I'm connected to a lot of great Christian men, but mostly of the time we're fighting about pro-life issues and the church and liturgy, and it's not inspiring. I mean, it's judgmental in a good way. We do have to judge evil acts and not the people, but say, listen, this needs to stop. So I do love it, but I've not been inspired, and Jesus inspired me in my life 16 years ago. And it gave me enough fuel to travel all six of the 7 continents. Been around the world. Rupali here met me in my mission in India. She was a Hindu. She was in love with a Christian. And was totally confused. Like, I can't leave my family's background and tradition of being Hindu, but I love this Christian man, and I'm open to your God. I'm actually quite motivated and inspired. How can I be both, in a sense? And she found answers in my friendship. She found answers in my descriptions of theology and philosophy and practical living. And they asked me to fly back to India to be there for their wedding. They got married. And they've got at least one beautiful child. And she just had a birthday this week. So thank you, Rupali, for tuning in. A lot of people are not really good at commenting here on Facebook or on YouTube. We have lots of comments coming in on Periscope. So I am just simply hitting record on social media, the 3 popular platforms that an 11-year-old just talked to me about. I was at an event. You see, in order to be an inspirational leader, you need to be, if you're here in life and you want to get here, you need to spend time with people that are here. Listen to music and audios that are here. Eat food and drink that's here. To have friends that are here. To have a network of life that's here. You're going to fail, that's guaranteed. But wouldn't it be best to fail and be here than for you to not try? I don't even want you to try. I just want you to not give up. We need men to be strengthened by other men. If the men in your life are not spending time with stronger men than they are, you are not going to have a stronger man. When a woman chooses to inspire her man, a woman is trying to inspire a man, and a man has a certain capacity to be inspired by women, but then he has a capacity that can only be inspired by other men. This is a book that my brother recommended to me, one of my brothers, called Iron John. And I'm leaning back because I've been talking for a long time, and it's really awesome that people are chiming in and logging in. But I'm going to get back to my wife and kids. This is part of me living a balanced, holy life of my body, my being, my bonds, and my business. Thank you to my brother, mentor, and coach, Raul Velasquez. We have opened up, or he has opened up, that mentorship program, which is a great investment. It's a program for men that are CEOs or leaders. I happen to squeeze in there because they considered me a charity case as a leader that just was living in a wounded psychology, if you will. And look, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I came back from that event. We've done over maybe 8 hours of 10 hours of live Facebook, YouTube, Periscope individually. Like, if I counted each one of those platforms, we'd be at almost 25 hours. I've come out of the closet. This has totally inspired me to get back out there, speak my truth, be real, raw, and authentic. Because when I took on the name of St. Francis at the age of 24, I committed to God to say, I will not put profits before passion and purpose. And I've lost my passion in God, and I've been putting my passion in, or I've been making my purpose about business. Started a landscaping business, and that's great. It's been cool. It's been a great retreat experience. It's been a great spiritual journey, but I can't continue to sit on the sidelines while souls are out there struggling and listening to their priests or preachers that are great. But what about neighbors that are inspirational? What about other men that are inspirational? What about regular dads? What about fitness people? So my life has changed dramatically. I lost 40 pounds. I did 2 Tough Mudders back-to-back in the same weekend. I hit 40. I spent $40,000 in life coaching, and it's been completely worth it. We're gonna make more money than we've ever made this year, all based on my passion business of being on a mission around the world to inspire, educate, and motivate, and change lives, transforming lives, both body and soul. This is the new holiness, holiness. I've gone from model and actor to muscular therapist to then graduating with a degree in theology and philosophy. Well, I didn't graduate, but I studied theology, philosophy, TV and film. And what was the 4th one? I was doing quadruple and evangelization, catechetics. Rupali, thank you so much. We always remember you. We spent a good time with you and shared our experiences of spiritual life. We look forward to meeting you soon. Rupali I was introduced to her, I think, at a Kentucky Fried Chicken in India. Her boyfriend at the time had me, I think he's nephews with like a bishop. And I was staying at the bishop's house. I was in India by the invitation of one of the head bishops. He heard me speaking in Dallas, Texas, and he said, you must come to India. Actually, he said, Mario, you must come to India. I will not take no for answer. That's what he said to me. And I couldn't say no to that. I said, Your Eminence, I will come. Never been to India, didn't have a visa for that. Definitely found out I don't have the stomach for India. First thing I had to learn was to say the word Madi, Madi, Madi. Vayar naranyu, I think means my stomach is full. Stop, 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 stop. Because the women there have been trained to love you through your stomach. And their food is different than ours. Their microbes, their water, and their spices are foreign to my digestive system. The image is completely distorted. Amy, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to listen to me because Facebook is playing a trick on me. Every time I start to say inspirational things, it decides to show people how life is messy, but God is still trying to give us a message. And so we've worked with Facebook to give people an experience of how life is. God, or inspiration, or real, authentic truths are being communicated to us, and the image can be distorted sometimes. Now, you can find me on YouTube. I don't think that's distorted. You can find me on Periscope. I don't think that's distorted. Liz, Amy, hello. Rupali, hello. Father James, Kevin, Alicia, hello, hello, hello. Everybody, thank you for joining me. Nicholas Cornwall, Nick, Navy pilot, badass man. All right, guys, so I keep trying to get off of here, but great people are chiming in. We are the average of the 5 people we spend our time with, the 5 foods we eat, the 5 liquids and beverages we drink, and the 5 people we spend our time with. Are you around energy suckers? You're around people who don't have faith? Life and faith is extremely hard and almost impossible to live in a way that's inspirational when we are not surrounded by people that not only believe what we believe, but even hold us to a higher standard for our marriage and for our body and soul, who help us with our minds, to train our minds, to go for gold, to go for higher. Nick here is a brother of mine who shares his passion for essential oils, for the Eucharist, for our Lord Jesus, and for marriage and life. I know, guys, I'm sorry the image is not clear. Can somebody please text me on Facebook and tell me, is the audio clear? I'm sorry. I need somebody to donate a laptop to me. Or we need people to start... we're going to have a Black Friday thing going on where people want to work with me one-on-one or in groups and not just listen to live webinars. We're going to have trips, pilgrimage, adventure, fitness, weekends, health weekends, all combined in one 5-night, 4-day event. Okay, good. I'm glad the audio is fine. You are coming to us from India, Rupali. Nick's coming to us from Corpus Christi. I know the image was clear a few minutes ago, but thank you guys for joining. We can hear you perfectly. Annette, my future producer, my sister, my first caller. I did a live video driving in my car from New York City after a hardcore event with men about leveling up life, both in your body, your being, your business, and your bonds. Bonds being your marriage, business being your business, bonds being your marriage. Did I already say that? Your body, what you eat, and your exercise. Your business, how you execute and what you learn and teach. Your bonds, your marriage and friendships. And your business, body, being, connection with God. Not just are you praying, but are you writing things down? Are you writing down your inspirations and your thoughts? Guys, I could preach for hours, I could share for hours, I could talk for hours, and I have so many wonderful people that are chiming in and tuning in. And I got to tell you, Annette, who just chimed in, heard my very first live webinar of of the new me, if you will, the inspired me. And she was in a tough place in business, in her body, her beings, and her body, everything. And I think I helped a little bit. I walked her through an exercise. It's a silly looking exercise. We did it. We laughed. We cried. And we left the phone inspired. Coaching calls should be 45 minutes to an hour. But as you can see, I spend time with people. So we had a 4-hour, right, Annette? A 4-hour coaching call. And now she wants to help. She wants to help to put on these live events we're going to do in San Antonio, Texas, Washington, D.C., San Diego, California. We'll do some in Rome and Assisi and in the Holy Land. So you pick your passion. You pick a place you want to go. We're going to do pilgrimage. We're going to do fitness. We're going to do health. We're going to do life coaching and inspiration. Yes, 4 hours we talked in that. Yesterday we talked to a woman in Mexico that was sad and depressed. She's got a great business. She's got a great home. She's got a great car. But men don't seem to notice her. And she is 66 pounds overweight, so she was about to spend $3,000 to get surgery done. And I challenged her, and I said, okay. But what if you gave me $600 and I gave you food for the month and half of the food that you would have for the month, or 75% of it, and you let me coach you, and you don't have to do any exercise. I don't want to stress you out. If you want to exercise, you can exercise, because I just lost 40 pounds. My wife just lost 40 pounds. We've got friends that have lost 60 and 70. We've got people who have lost 120. So I just offered that to her, and she was like crying, and she was just, called me an angel, and she said, people don't take time anymore. You go to a doctor's office, the average doctor visit face-to-face is, I think, 6 or 7 minutes. And the conversation that you get to talk is only about 30 seconds. And with our priests and preachers, we hear them do one-way conversations. You have to go to confession or have a spiritual director for the rest. So I'm taking all of my experience and all of the things that I've learned, my theology degree, my philosophy degree, my catechetics, evangelization, my fitness, my personal development, to help men and women to take life to multiple levels beyond where they're at. I want to say guaranteed, but frankly, if you're not going to do the work, then the results are not guaranteed. But if you will give me effort, I will give you results. That is what I'm here to do. I love essential oils. I love weight loss. I love my Jesus. And I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to sell you essential oils. I'm not here to get you to lose weight, or to get out of pain. I'm a muscular therapist as well. However, these are my gifts, my talents, my treasures, my certifications, and my degrees. So I'm happy to share those with you. But what I'm talking about today, Melissa, is that I'm a model and an actor who became a muscular therapist, thinking that that was better than modeling, is helping people with their bodies. God and a man preached, Father Larry Richards preached so passionately. He was a man who was living a manly existence, almost too strong, but I was just very effeminate in my life. I hadn't had any men man me up. And God being the ultimate, Jesus being the ultimate man, the God-man, God-made man, God in the flesh, changed my life at the age of 24. And I've been a Christian producer of 2 films, Our Lady of Guadalupe and The Blood and the Rose, and also been a part of Bella and been a part. Can you answer my question? Yes, what is your question? Talk to me here. Sorry. And so personal development has been my passion. I'm a husband. I'm a dad of 2 children. And so I am bringing everything that I know into one mission, making a business out of my passion, which is on a mission around the world to inspire, educate, and motivate lives, to change lives, to transform lives, both body and soul. This is the new holiness with Mario St. Francis. I do group coaching. I do private coaching. People can call me and kind of confess and then get slapped around, and then I'm going to motivate you and train you and coach you to get to where you need to be. You're going to do the work, and I will guide you. I am not, as Tony Robbins says, I'm not your guru. I'm just here to lead the way. I can tell you my story. You share with me your story, but let's get there. I'm talking about men because we had a webinar going on about the men's group, Navy SEAL meets God Squad meets Fight Club meets 12-step program all in one, and a business mastermind. It is for men only, and I was telling people about sort of a low-cost entry way of being involved through just a webinar interaction. It's not something I lead, it's my coaching community that I'm a part of. And so other people are asking questions about relationships. What do you do if a man cheats, et cetera, et cetera? A lot of women follow me, and so I've got a lot of women here. And I'm so sorry, ladies, that men, I know so many of you are single. I'm sorry that men are just not manning up enough. Men do fake manning up. There's being tough. There's being too sensitive or overly more sensitive than strong, right? It's good to be sensitive and strong. But to find a holistic way of managing those, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry that your boyfriend broke up with you. I'm sorry that you were in a relationship where a man beat you and hurt you. I'm sorry that you are in a place of sadness, of doubt. I'm sorry that God seems to have abandoned you. But I have been in positions of highs and lows. And I've decided to make an investment in myself when I hit 40. This is the year of me so that I can become a great giver and a great sharer. And I'm creating a community, coaching, experience, live events. We'll do San Diego, we'll do San Antonio, Texas, we'll do Washington, D.C. options, and we'll do Roma, Sisi, and we'll do the Holy Land. To share my gifts, my talents, and my experience. You don't have to spend $40,000 to learn what I've learned. I'm here to teach and coach. My passion is to inspire lives, to be real, to be raw, to be authentic, and to empower other people to live the life that they feel in their hearts. We're told way too often that our dreams are too big, that they're unreachable, and I'm here to prove that wrong and to coach you if you want to be coached. So if not, just keep tuning in to these Facebook, to these Periscopes, to these YouTubes. Watch out for me talking about the things that I'm passionate about. Again, fashion model and an actor, turned muscular therapist, turned into a Catholic Christian missionary, and now my life is as a husband and as a dad, coaching other people to compact time to be able to go out and inspire other people to live a higher image, to reflect a higher image. And the highest image is the original image, that we were made in the image and the likeness of God. But there are human achievements that we also need and can take advantage of, both in our body, our bonds, our relationships, our businesses, and our relationship with God and inspiring others. So I'm not here to just be a one-way conversation. I want to inspire other people and duplicate myself through you, men and women, and youth and teenagers. So I look forward to getting booked again in conferences, youth ministers, getting back out to your parishes, to not letting finances be an issue that separates us, because I'm going to start having investors and donors that are going to make that happen. We're going to have health and wellness products and coaching and weight loss, all different things that I'm becoming affiliated with all these different providers, and you can choose who you want to work with. They're just people that I give a big thumbs up to. If you want to come with me to a life-changing Tony Robbins event, we'll have group discounted tickets, and we'll be able to hang out together and have a great experience. And I am just here to help people to get more out of their lives, both their body and their soul, on a mission around the world to inspire, educate, and motivate, and transform lives, both body and soul. I'm a life and wellness coach. My name is Mario St. Francis. I thank you for being here with me. Find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, and hopefully we will have a volunteer social media contributor that will be working with me. We'll have a producer. We'll have we'll have the help both at home with my wife and kids, with the house and the children, and with our passion business here of being the Life and Wellness Coaching Institute that we're creating, that we can do this bigger and better and broader. I like that. Somebody write that down. Annette, my new assistant. Bigger, better, and broader. Have a broader reach. Make it bigger and better. Bolder. I don't know. Let's. I love using the same letters. So I like to be real and raw and authentic, but authentic is not an R, so somebody has to help me. This is going to be a group effort, guys. If I am going to reach out to more lives, listen, I had a woman crying. Every day I have got somebody crying on the phone. I had somebody crying because their guy's being a jerk. Guys told him not being a man in their life, a king, a leader. Yesterday, men aren't noticing this young woman in Mexico. She's about to do surgery, paid to have fat taken off her because she thinks men will look at her. But I'm going to help her to make sure that she's beautiful on the inside. Because like the movie Jack Black I was talking about, see, big loop around, that was like half an hour ago, Jack Black. But that's not the movie. The movie was Shallow Hal. Shows the reality of what life is like when we're looking at people through a superficial lens. You can look at beautiful figures, whatever shape, Cosmopolitan has told us that women are supposed to be, and pay attention to people who fit a certain mold and treat them a certain way. But if you're out of that, we somehow say, well, you're lower. The bar is here. Cosmo and MTV have said the bar is here. And if you're not here, that means you're just lower and less than. And that's a sad, pathetic truth. That's our reality. That's our life in society, unless you're hanging around better people that are challenging you. And I hope to be one of those better people. Shallow Hal shows what happens when he is given sort of like a mind trick, a hypnosis, NLP kind of thing by a guy named Tony Robbins. And he starts to see women and men, I think men, but particularly women for who they really are. And he falls in love with Gwyneth Paltrow, which I think is like, 250 pounds overweight, maybe 300 pounds, maybe 400 pounds overweight, or out of the cosmopolitan context. And nobody can understand why he's so in love with her, but he sees Gwyneth Paltrow as the, size that most of us know her as in media and real life. And he met some supermodels that were like 90-year-old, chain-smoking, really bad-looking people. And all the men around him were paying attention to those women. Well, he's seeing their soul. He's seeing their character. I am here to help people to build that character. But I'm not going to stop there. We have to work on the body. We have to get the body to a place where you want to get to. So it just depends on what your goals in life are. I am happy to help whoever wants help and wants to do the work to get there. And because life is busy, we need to do things that will compact time and get success quickly. So that's what I'm here to help everybody who's willing to. If you want to just do it occasionally, chime in and find me on Facebook, on Periscope, on Instagram, YouTube. And you can just hear me sharing people's stories. We've got great people that are chiming in. We've had a lot of people that are, both crying, telling me that I'm an angel, telling me, my gosh, I'm a godsend. And I'm really blessed and thankful that by me answering the call that I felt in my heart to just start doing live videos of being real, raw, and authentic, of following my original, mission where I brought the name St. Mario St. Francis into my life at the age of 24. Thanks be to God for that reversion experience of traveling the world to inspire, educate, and motivate in order to transform lives. But now I'm not just doing it in a spiritual, religious sense. And I'm doing it and I'm delivering help, both body and soul. For me, this is a new holiness. This is, holiness 2.0. Whole, WHOLEE-ness, holiness. Body, our being, our bond, and our business. It's phenomenal to me that I am capable and have the ability to make a business out of my passion, which is transforming lives with body and soul, being a life and wellness coach, being a inspiration, a motivator, a speaker, not just a speaker, but actually helping people step by step using, methods, using strategies. People can join me in 3 cities in the United States and in 2 trips in Europe, and in which are life coaching trips with me. Washington, D.C., San Antonio, Texas. We're going to have San Diego as well. So we have the beach, we have the ranches, the horse ranches, and we're going to have, the nation's capital. And then we'll do Rome and Assisi, so Italy, and then we'll have the Holy Land. These are places that are significant to me. These are places that are where I'm from, where I met my wife and went to school, where I got my degree from, and where I get to ride my horses like a crazy cowboy. And San Diego, where the offices for our pilgrimage trips are, where my best friend lives, where the beach is, and where St. Francis's followers roamed and founded California. So If you want to join me for an adventure, life-changing trip, it's 5 nights, 4 days. We're going to have a Black Friday deal, which you'll see online coming up in the next day or two. I am not giving up. This is my passion has been to transform lives, and I've been traveling the world doing it as not even as a nonprofit, but just not profiting from it. I've been holding all the spiritual profits. Holy Land, yes, Melissa, we're going to be going to the Holy Land. And if people want to add on to the Holy Land to go also to Rome, we will do that as well. It will be a 12-day trip. But since most people can't take 12 days off, I want to be able to impact people's lives through something like a retreat, a pilgrimage, business building, trust building, examination of conscience, reconnecting with God for, fallen away Catholics, for evangelical Christians who are just open to going into churches and praying with us in my background and traditions, but then also doing life coaching, eating healthy and clean. So it's going to be including, we're going to stay in log cabins. If people want to do what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay in a tent because everywhere I travel for business, I'm in a hotel. I want a different experience like World Youth Day. So I'm kind of bringing the spirituality, if you will, and the benefits of World Youth Day into the secular community, but I'm calling faith-based people to say, come, if you're not satisfied in your body, in your connection with God, in your relationships, or in business, let's talk, let's strategize, let's mastermind. I hit 40 years old a few months ago. I lost 40 pounds. I have spent $40,000 in business development, and I've realized that this is true, authentic, integrated holiness. When our whole body, mind, and soul are operating and pounding at a level that's not just spiritual, it's not just physical, but it's an integration of all of them, we can do it. But we have to do it surrounded by other people. So if you don't have a group of people that you spend time with, then come and join me, both on group coaching calls, private coaching calls, and then at the live events. We'll do Washington, D.C., we'll do San Antonio, Texas, and we will do San Diego, California. I'm Mari St. Francis. I was a model and an actor, became a muscular therapist, one of 150 in the world that transformed people's bodies. But then God, boom, had other plans, and at the same time, my life completely changed. And I went back to, I was an anti-Catholic Christian. I rebelled against my traditions and faith. And my God completely, through a drunk driving accident and several other accidents, Lindsay, what's up, my brother, changed my life. And I got an opportunity to be a producer of 2 Christian films in Hollywood, to be an assistant to the manager of Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. And God had plans for me, and I wanted to become a monk or a priest. And God, put human beings in my life that kept asking me to tell my story and my testimony around the world. So I did that. I was on a mission around the world, went to every continent 3 times, traveled around on a mission around the world, inspiring, educating, and motivating people to their lives of deep and proud faith. But I gained weight. I had a terrible relationship fall apart on me. And I just lost a lot of trust in humanity. But that's not where I stopped. My life continued. So you can go from high and low, and then high and low again, but are you going to quit after 2 or 3 times? I'm here to both inspire and call out men. Particularly tonight was to call out men. We are the average of 5 people we spend our time with, the foods we eat, the drinks we drink, and the music we listen to, the events we go to or don't go to. And so my life went from, fashion model to then becoming a missionary. And I sat next to a guy who just joined us in Canada. Pradeep freaking looks like my twin with a shaved head. Beautiful Indian brother in Canada. At least I think it's an Indian background. And I'm like, dude, I'm here to take my life to the next level with Tony Robbins, Platinum Partnership. And there I was. And all I kept feeling was, man, this is, oh my gosh, Lent is 40 days. Annette, this is why you're my new producer. This is awesome. Sorry, we got people commenting. We're on Periscope, Facebook Live, and on YouTube. So anyhow, I'm with this badass guy named Pradeep. We're at a Tony Robbins event. And I'm just trying to figure out my life. And we're connecting. I'm like, God, I'm just dealing with so many feelings. And I was with Lindsay at a Jack Canfield event in Arizona. And just like, God, I'm like, my calling. And he asked me to stand up. And oh, great, my neighbor Alex is on. This guy's known me since I was like 6 years old. Holy cow. Can't wait to have him comment on my speaking online. But we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. Hi, everybody. This was supposed to be a 15-minute webinar. We're about to hit 2 hours, which is my average. You're hearing the stories. You're hearing about the end goal, which is how men need to level up. You are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with, the 5 foods you eat, the 5 things you drink, the 5 events you go to or you don't go to. So if you're hanging around people that are just making a living, then that's what you're going to be living for the next couple of days, months, and years. Until you change the standards of the people around you, you're going to keep getting what's the average of what surrounds you. That is one thing you do have control of, is who are you spending time with. That's what my dad said when the cops were at my house at the age of 16. Dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres. The cops were here. We were looking at a scenario. Do I go to a reformatory of some sort, or do I do some sort of juvenile detention? And I chose to go to reformatory. Went to a military school. That put me on a new playing field. I went from being a C, D, F student to being a straight A student, to being the highest decorated and promoted cadet at that military school, and it was an all-boys military school, all young men. And that laid the foundation, but then I went to college and just got lost in the women and fraternity and drinking and partying and left college. And then became a fashion model and just left, bonds of men holding you to a higher standard. And God had different plans. At 24, pow, 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 he just totally changed my life. And so I ended up traveling around the world speaking. I've been on 6 continents. I've spoken over 400 times. I'm on television. I've been in Spanish and English and Italian, speaking to youth, to adults, and still not satisfied because I'm just speaking. I want to actually help and watch people grow and develop. I only get 1 hour to speak on stage, 45 minutes, because they've got events, and a lot of people have come to me asking me for more, but I haven't known how to deliver more. So I hit 40 years old. I was 40 pounds overweight. So I made a 40 commitment. I'm going to lose 40 pounds. I'm going to spend $40,000 at least on personal development, coaching and inspiration, business planning, etc. And we're going to launch our program, a group coaching and a private coaching, and our live events that you can travel with me to be part of what it is that I'm doing. I'm traveling around the world. I'm on a mission to inspire, educate, and motivate in order to transform lives, both body and soul. This is the new holiness, whole, W-H-O-L-E-E-N-S-N-E-S-S, holiness with Margaret St. Francis. You don't have to go out. You don't have to spend 40 years. You don't have to go through divorce. You don't have to go through ups and downs. You don't have to go through depressions. You don't have to go through all sorts of crap in order to get to the high levels of life that I'm getting at. Because life isn't just about money. It's not just about having a nice house and a nice car. It's about human connection. It's about winning, and not just winning yourself and having a good, good looks and good things, but getting as many other people in your life who can win as well. We got to share the good news, not just the good news of the Bible. We got to share the good news about life and business. My buddy Alex, who might still be here, has helped me in my business. He's been a badass man. When I was in Poland and I had over 100 customers that needed their snow cleared, he came and stepped up. Now, all the people that I had helping me were complaining and had limited thinking. Like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? And I was just on such a stressful mode. I just said, this has to happen. We have to do it. I don't care what it's going to take. Make it happen. I'll pay you. We'll make it happen. I lost $8,000 in that. I don't know how you can clean 100 people's snow and lose $8,000, but I learned a lot about life. We are the average of the 5 people we spend our time with, the 5 foods we eat, the 5 drinks we drink, the 5 events we go to or don't go to, and what we listen to. You are your circle of influence. Continua con su misión. Oh, Lindsay, hablas español, qué bien. So anyhow, this is a new life and wellness coaching program that we're doing. It's a powerhouse. It's a boot camp. You can work with me in group. You can work with me privately, and you can come to my live events. People have not heard from me over the last 2 years because I've been dealing with loving my own children and being face-to-face with them. But I know that there's souls out there hurting. And when I was at a Jack Canfield Breakthrough to Success event, they asked the whole group, basically, what do you envision in your life? And boom, something hit me, and I stood up and I read a statement that I will be on stage with Jack Canfield and Tony Robbins speaking at least 3 events within the next 12 months, inspiring lives and changing lives. I got down and I basically cried going, what the heck did I just say? That's impossible. Who am I? What would my story be? Well, I ended up meeting somebody as a Tony Robbins Platinum partner. They challenged me to level up in my marriage. I ended up meeting somebody else who was a Platinum partner for Tony Robbins. I joined a mastermind and a business development group that's basically like Fight Club, meets Navy SEAL training, meets a 12-step program, and a fraternity altogether. And that's completely changed the game. I have to do homework every single day in the 4 areas of my life. There are basically 8 homework assignments, 2 in each areas of my life: my body, my being, my bonds, and my business. My body, I have to eat healthy and exercise in some way, shape, or form. In my bonds, I have to connect with my wife or kids or friends or people out online. And I have to speak to them, and I have to show them appreciation and gratitude in a physical way. And then in my business, I have to execute and learn. And then my being, my bonds with God or whatever your higher power is, we are connecting both by prayer, meditation, whatever it is that is good for you. I'm sorry if you guys can't see me, but this is life. Life is messy. Hopefully you can still hear me. This is Facebook. This is terrible. You got to find me on YouTube if you want to see my pretty shirt and my hat. I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me. I'm sporting a super fancy outfit, and my background is awesome in my office, in my studio that we have here. But just listen. I'm going to wrap it up because my kids, I think, just got laid down to bed, and I like to see them as much as possible. But I've been feeling it heavy on my heart to reach out, to inspire, to educate, to motivate, to transform lives, both body and soul, and to be real, raw, and authentic, and to empower people to live life more fully, to reflect a higher image, both body and soul. So Lent is coming up, which is 40 days. I'm 40 years old. I spent $40,000 in personal development. I've lost 40 pounds, and Lent is coming up in, 2-3 months. It's going to be 40 days, and that's going to be a powerhouse of 40 days. That is going to be a hardcore, serious business coaching, life transforming. We're going to be very busy. And we're about to launch a Black Friday deal where people who want to work with me, travel with me, can basically reserve a spot at like 75% off and be connected. I am on a mission around the world to inspire, educate, and motivate, to transform lives, both body and soul. This is the new holiness. Whole, WHOLEENES. Men are not leveling up. Men are falling into all sorts of problems and issues, and women are being dragged and complaining about it. But guess what? As we want women to be more masculine, that's naturally going to make men more feminine. And as men aren't calling men out, and we live more by a status quo, we live more by a don't be too loud, don't disrupt the church, don't disrupt politics, don't look for too much justice. We just lost people on Periscope. That's one of our biggest audiences. I'm sorry, Periscope, we lost you. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and we were on Periscope, but I know you guys can't see me. I'm sorry, but you have to just listen. If you want to see me much better, go to YouTube. But basically, Lent, we're going to be launching a massive program. It's going to be my life and wellness coaching mastery. We will be doing travel events. We will do group coaching. We will do private coaching. You are going to work with me. I have spent $40,000, lost 40 pounds. I've done 2 Tough Mudders. So that's been 40 miles that I ran with, did 40 obstacles. And Lent is going to be 40 days of massive transformation. Get ready for 2018, but start now. Because you know if you just make a New Year's resolution, you're not going to follow through with it, because that's what the law of averages and all of the statistics say. So if you're a person who feels like your body could benefit, your being could benefit, your connection with God, your marriage could benefit, or your future marriage, and your connection with God and your business could, then that's what I want to do. People who want results, people who are going to do the work, and people who want to stay in touch with somebody who's going to be real, raw, and authentic, and I'm going to call you out in a real, raw, and authentic way. If that doesn't scare the bejesus out of you and it inspires you, then I am here to help and coach you. Black Friday, we're going to be showing a deal where you're going to get to reserve a spot. This is going to be a very busy program. We are making a business out of my passion. I'm working with some of the top business mentors and coaches and leaders in the industry, with Tony Robbins, with Jack Canfield, and others, So, Facebook, YouTube, I'm sorry, Facebook, that you can't see me, but that's life. That's the messiness of life. Sometimes God talks to us, not saying I'm God, and we can't see him. We can just hear him. And if what I'm saying to you is garbled, then it's either there's something in between me and you that's not working well. And I need to fix it, or you need to fix it. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean God is wrong. It just means that there is a disconnect. So God bless you. My name is Mario St. Francis, model actor, muscle therapist, theology degree, philosophy degree. What the heck do I do with it all? I am a life and wellness coach, transforming lives. I've traveled the world. I've given over 400 conferences. I've spoken to over 100,000 people that have heard me through radio, through television. I've produced 2 Christian films, or been one of the, I have 2 films. They've been in theaters. And I am here to transform lives, both body and soul. If you want to work with me, you got to be willing to do the work. If you just want to come and hang out with me on YouTube or on Facebook, you're welcome to listen to me. You're welcome to follow me on social media. I am looking for benefactors, partners. I'm looking for producers. I'm looking for assistants to help. I'm looking for, we're doing massive work. We're investing with Bitcoin. We're doing health and wellness offerings. We're doing marriage offerings. We're doing fitness offerings. I have changed all the aspects of my life. They were all going to shit. My body, my connection with God, my marriage, everything was falling apart behind closed doors. But now you can see it. I've dropped 40 pounds. I'm doing handstands on paddle boards. I'm doing handstand push-ups. I did 2 tough mutters back to back. If your life is not changing in your body, in your being, with connection with God, in your marriage or dating relationships, then you're not doing the work. And if you're not doing the work, you're not going to get results. And if we're not spending time around people that inspire us, that offer us options, that are holding our hand and lifting us up, then we're not going to get up. That's why I say we need to level up. Men need men to inspire them and level them up. I come from a Christian and Catholic background where we basically just sit around and commiserate with each other. And we say the thing that drives me nuts. I know Jolene and Duquesa, you can't see me probably. Facebook is being a punk, but you can hear me. I say that the feed on Facebook is like life. A lot of times we don't see God, we don't see a future, we don't see a happy marriage, we don't see a happy body, we don't see a way out of our politics, our religion, our problems, our marriage, our weight loss, our weight issues. But there is hope. Just listen to the voice that's offering you help. I am passionate about changing lives, both body and soul, inspiring them. So inspire, educate, and motivate. In order to change lives, both body and soul, transform lives. We're going to be launching a massive campaign during Lent, which is 40 days, because I hit 40 years old. I lost 40 pounds right before I hit 40. I've spent $40,000 in business coaching and in business development and in strategy, personal development. Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, Raul Velasquez. I'm part of a group that has over 40 men that is basically Navy SEALs, combined with a 12-step program, combined with a retreat, combined with a business mastery and fight club. And that scares the crap out of most men. And I am sick and tired of being around men who are scared and weak and tired, and we just talk about doing a couple things. I am here to level up my whole life. My marriage, which was falling apart, my body, which was falling apart, my connection with God, which was falling apart, and I was a missionary speaker, and I had no business. I had a landscaping business, okay. My network marketing business was non-existent, because I was always afraid of rejection and afraid of that. All of that is being revamped. I've run 40 miles in the last in 1 weekend I ran 40 miles to do over 40 obstacles. I'm doing handstands on paddle boards. I'm doing handstand push-ups. My marriage is transforming. My connection with God is transforming. And so I'm taking that to the streets with a life, body, and soul mastery program to transform lives. If you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to coach you and help you. This is not going to be a free thing. I can't live by doing free things. This is going to be paid, and it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it. The more you invest, the more results you get. The more it hurts you. If you're comfortable, you're not going to. If your coach is a comfortable coach, you're going to play a comfortable game, and nobody remembers who was in second place. I'm here to win at life, win at heaven, win in my body, win in my soul, win in my marriage, and win in my business, and to bring as many people with me as possible. My background is as a Catholic Christian motivational speaker, but I'm here for all people of goodwill. We're going to do live events, and we're going to do group coaching and private coaching. This is it. I'm hitting the streets again. Lent 2018, 40 days to commemorate. I lost 40 pounds, hit 40, ran 40 miles, did over 40 obstacles in a weekend. Spent, I don't know, did I mention the $40,000? Personal development, and I am helping over 40 people to transform their lives. And it's going to be group coaching, private coaching. We're going to do trips, an adventure trip that's basically going to combine a vacation with a retreat, with a business mastermind, and a life success strategy session with me and 8 other people. Washington, D.C. is one destination. The other destination, okay, my producer and assistant has bid me to, I need to go be with my wife and kids. You're right, I could talk forever, and people keep joining me forever. So let me finish, though, Annette. Let me finish. And then cut me off. Call me on my phone, actually. Call me, Annette, in 4 minutes. So we're going to offer destination events that are going to be mastery programs to meet other people who are passionate about transforming their lives, both body and soul, to inspire and encourage their faith. We're going to have the Mass out on the beach. We're going to have adoration. I'm going to teach you about the Rosary. I'm going to teach you about the sacraments. I'm going to teach you about the basics of our faith in case you have lost connection with the faith. Yes, this is specifically and most passionately going to be an event that's going to mean the most to business men and women or people who are passionate about contributing to society. These will be live events that I'm offering. There are 3 American cities: Washington, D.C., San Antonio, Texas, San Diego, California. They're going to be 5 nights, 4 days. Then I'm going to do an event to the Holy Land and one to Rome, or to Italy, Rome and Assisi. And some people are going to be badasses and they're going to do the Holy Land and Rome and Assisi with me. But this is going to be a chance to up level, to get inspired, both body and soul. It's the new holiness, 2018 holiness. Whole, your whole life. Where are you at with your body? Where do you want to be? Where are you at with your business? Or your passion, your contribution to society? Where do you want to be? Where are you at in your marriage or single life getting towards marriage? And where do you want to be? And where do you want to be with your connection with God? I will take you from where you are to where you want to go, or at least get you started on a journey and then pass you off to my coaches and my mentors. But I've spent $40,000. I've gone to 4 incredible events that have, or more than 4, that have incredibly changed my life. And I want to share that good news and great news with you guys. I'm Mario St. Francis. God bless you. Thank you so much. I look forward to those who feel like stepping up to the challenge of transforming their lives, both body and soul, in 2018. It starts this Thanksgiving with the Black Friday deal that you won't want to miss. God bless you. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go be with my wife and kids. I'm going to wake up my kids if they're sleeping. Here we go. God bless you. Take care, YouTube.